Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do something I think a little bit different. I don't think I've ever filmed one of these. It's a get ready with me, which I have filmed, but we're going to be talking a lot about different things like my life. Part of the reason I'm doing this video is because I like to share my analytics on Instagram. Here's the one for what is today. I don't know when you guys are going to see this video, but today's February 10th. So I posted this morning, and I realized that the 1-year memory of my mom is one of my top videos for the last month, which is weird because I posted that in June, and I realized that I haven't really given you guys an update at all since that video, and that video was not meant to be like super informative or anything like that. So I thought, what better way to do that than today? And I want to put makeup on because I want to use some new products and keep trying out some products I've only used a couple times. So I thought, why not just do it all in one video? Yeah, so I don't know exactly what process this video is going to take. I don't really have any set planned or any set look. Or what exactly I want to talk about. I know there are certain things that I want to touch on. I just don't know what all of them are. So subscribe to my channel before you leave, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with my face today, and I'm going to try my best to stay on task and remind you of things that I'm using and different things like that. I'm going to use this mirror though. So I'm first going to take the Lubriderm Daily Moisturizer. In that video, it's not a very happy video. I'm crying, I'm very upset, and I talk about basically what my life was like in 2018. And 2019 was better, but not by a whole lot. So I just want to touch on some things. So in that video, I know this is something that I really need to talk about because I still have been a little hit or miss with my uploads. I talk about not really feeling like myself, and I'm forced myself to film and things like that. I've gotten really good about not forcing myself to film anymore because it comes across on camera. But in April of last year, so 2019, I finally decided to start taking anxiety medication, which this is a topic that I have debated putting on the internet, but I mean, it's no secret. So I decided to, why not just share it? So I've dealt with anxiety and depression for a really long time, and I thought about filming what it's like living with it, but to be honest, a lot of times when I'm feeling like that, I don't want to film. But sometimes I do, and I don't film because I feel that way, so I might still make the video. It's up in the works. But I've struggled with anxiety and depression for many years, and I'm gonna let that soak in for a minute, so I'll just keep talking to you. It was no secret, and it got to the point, especially my anxiety got to a point where I really was not doing things. I couldn't really go out in large groups. I had a lot of issues being in public. Like, it was not a good time. So I decided I'm finally going to tell my doctor about this and, take medication because it came to the point where I needed it. To be honest, and I've been in counseling now for four or 5 months. I'm not exactly sure. This is the e.l.f. mineral infused face primer, and I'm seeing a counselor. I'm also seeing a psychiatrist who are working together with my doctor to kind of come up with a solution to different things. But not every day is great, to be honest. I've tried different medications. I've tried different things to kind of keep me busy. And that, is something that I think just needs to be addressed, because I know I'm not the only person that feels this way, and I know some people have a really hard time expressing themselves, because I do, for sure. And it's just something that I think is important. So, you know, you're not alone there. Let me start from the beginning. So I started medication in April. So it's almost been a full year. Since I started medication, I have gained a lot of weight, and that is very apparent in my videos. I can tell, I'm pretty sure some of you guys can tell. I've actually been called fat by coworkers, by different people. Family members have also commented on my weight. I'm not happy with how much I weigh, but I'm trying to take one problem at a time. So I have changed medication in hopes that it'll, you know, kind of balance out. But yeah, I have gained like 30 pounds, close to 30 pounds since I started medication, which is not ideal for me. Some people want to gain weight. I am not one of those people. So it's definitely it's a work in progress, and with myself in many different ways. So that is something that I think is noticeable. But I am working with a counselor and a psychiatrist and my doctor to come up with a medication that is okay for me and is okay for my body. Some of them have not worked, but yeah. Also in that video, I talk a little bit about, I'm going to take the Beauty Bakery Instabake Aqua Glass Foundation. This one's in the shade 357 WN. It looks like this. In that video, I talk about not really communicating with my family. Since that video, I have moved into my apartment. I did my apartment tour. Yeah. My apartment serves as a home basically for 2 years. It's on campus at my school, so I can't live here once I graduate. So that's a problem that I do have. But I do have a solution to that problem, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's none of the internet's business right now. But that is something that, you know, is definitely there for sure. However, I mentioned in that video not really talking to my dad for weeks. I discovered, which this may sound terrible, this may make me terrible, but I have several people in my life telling me that this is the best thing for me. I don't really talk to him basically at all anymore. I discovered that it's just better for, especially my mental health at this time in my life, to just not deal with that kind of drama. I don't want to be dealing with, you know, the issues and constantly being, you know, in that type of situation. And I have several people in my life, not just friends and family, but like several different people who agree that, you know, this right now is just, it's not the right time. And if you know me at all personally, you understand some things that have happened between us and some personal things I just don't think the internet needs to know. But yeah, I don't talk to him at all anymore. It's been several months since we've communicated at all. And you know, it is what it is. However, I have reconnected with one of my siblings, my oldest sister. If you follow me on Instagram, you see her all the time. We hang out a lot now, which I'm actually really excited about because we have a lot in common. We both like to read. We both are very creative, and so it's been a really good time reconnecting with her. And although we don't agree on everything, we have we have a tradition every single Saturday. You know, we read and watch live PD. That's kind of like what we do. It's been really, really good to reconnect with her and, you know, have somebody outside of my friend group who just get things, you know, like we've been through a lot of similar personal things that I think not everybody in my friend group would understand. Most of them are very understanding and you know, willing to help me out, but you know, it's different when it comes from a family member. And I'm very, very happy that I've reconnected with her, and I think she's happy as well. You know, we hang out every single weekend, so it's pretty nice to have that I don't know, steady type of thing going on. I'm going to use the Beauty Bakery Instabake 3-in-1 Concealer in the shade Frappe Hour as well. I do like the Instabake foundation. I'm going to try to remember what I was talking about, but no promises. I do really like it. It does clump up around my nose, but a lot of foundations do that, so it's not like a huge deal, but I do really, really like it. The concealer I like as well. I think I've tried the foundation more. Can't honestly remember, but I was going to try this as well. Yeah, so dealing with that. Let's see. The beginning of this year, back to uploads. I told you I don't really have any thought process in this video. I'm just trying to inform you guys as best as I can. Beginning of this year, I missed a lot of uploads, and I don't like doing that. I love to film, like I love it. It's like it's probably my favorite thing to do. I do it a lot more recently, but I love to film, and I missed a lot of uploads because I genuinely just was not in a good headspace. And right now I feel like the past couple days, which again is another reason I'm filming this video, have not been the best for me personally. I'm going to take the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Loose Powder in the shade Translucent Light. I've only tried this I think twice, and I have kind of a mixed review on it, so I'm going to try it again. But this past weekend especially just has not been very good for me. I've been very, very anxious. I haven't really had a lot of energy. It just hasn't been the best of time. And when I went to counseling the other day, I mentioned that as well, because it's been here for about 2 or 3 weeks. I would say I just haven't really been in the best headspace. You know, I've just been kind of down in the dumps, and some days a little bit more depressed than others, and I've just been having a lot of like internal problems. And my counselor was actually like, you know, this is darkening my concealer a lot. I think I like it for setting the face, not for setting the concealer. Yeah, because it's darkening my concealer a lot, which I'm not happy about, but I have to finish. That way it matches both sides. Anyway, she was like, well, has there been any trigger? Like, is your relationship okay? Is like your school going okay? And, you know, and I was like, everything's fine. I just, you know, I've been kind of depressed. I've been a little bit more anxious than normal. And, you know, like it's been not the greatest. Like, I had to go and at work the other day take a couple minutes to myself because I was like, oh my God, like I can't do this. And it was interfering with it's been interfering with my work, and you know, it's not an ideal situation for me. I am going to take this guy. This is the Maybelline. Actually, I need to try this out again. I know I'm trying out a bunch of things that I've used recently, but I really do need to figure out if I like them or not. So I'm gonna use the CoverGirl True Blend pressed powder in the shade Translucent Fair. It looks like this. You know, like it's interfering with my life, and it's been interfering with my upload schedule a lot. The past 2 weeks I haven't missed an upload. I've really kind of cracked down on myself. Like, I need to edit. I need to sit down and edit. And I got new editing software. I got some new makeup. I got really, really excited to film. Like, I was like, okay, I got new makeup, I got new editing software, I got a new desktop computer specifically for editing. Like, I have all this new stuff. Like, I have new equipment. Like, I'm so ready. And that momentum just stopped. Like, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And it's not that I didn't want to film anymore. It was just that I didn't feel like doing it, if that makes any sense. And this is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I love makeup. It's a form of art. Like, I love doing it. There's no rules. I love filming. I love interacting with you guys, especially like responding to comments, DMs. I love it. Like, I check all the time, and you know, and I love new makeup launches. Like, I get really excited when I see people you know, doing things and coming out with collabs and different things. But I just came to a point where I got the new editing software, I got the desktop, and I just didn't want to film. Okay, this powder, a little bit too matte for me for this particular foundation. I should have used the other one, but we're here. And I just didn't want to do it. And this is the e.l.f. Illuminating Primer Mist. I'm gonna try to save it. I don't know if I remember what I think about this, so hopefully this doesn't mess up my makeup. It like spits at you. But it just came to a point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then I was like, you know what? I love filming. I love putting on makeup. I love doing makeup. I'm just gonna sit down and do it. And I have for past like 2 weeks. I've been really good at filming. I've got some editing done. Some of my videos that are coming up, or they may already be up by the time this video goes up, I don't know, were filmed in 2019. Like my Bean Boozled challenge, my Q&A, those were filmed in 2019 as early as November. Like that was just how far behind I was. My under eyes, I don't know if you guys can see them. Let's zoom you in real quick. Like, I don't know if you guys can see my under eyes. Do you see that? Oh yeah, you can. That's from that powder, that Physicians Formula powder. I've used it to set my face and it doesn't do that, but under the eyes, I just don't think it is ideal. If you guys can see like my forehead, like that foundation I love, but the powders I'm iffy on. So yeah, that's that, but we'll just keep going. I'm not gonna start over. But like, I don't know, I'm trying to keep you guys informed because I realized I never updated you guys on that from that video. And I don't think anybody asked me to, but I felt like it needed to be done. But basically, I have cut out energy that is negative in my life, and like I said earlier, like I don't really need that kind of energy from my dad right now. It does upset me. I have cried about it several times. I actually haven't cried in a while, but I was crying like 4 times a week. Like it was all the time. I haven't cried in a while. I was really down in the dumps. I was really depressed about just things in the past, like what used to be. And I was asking my sister, like, do you feel that way? And she was like, all the time. But it came down to it, like I was like, you know what, forget it. Some people in my life are not reaching out to me, and you know, if they're not going to reach out to me, if I always have to be the one engaging, you know, conversation or you know, DMing each other, it's not a relationship, it's not a friendship, there's nothing in that. I'm getting nothing out of that other than me being like, oh my God, did I say something? What's wrong with me? Like, that was things that I was like actual thoughts that I had. And I'm not just talking about like my dad, I'm talking about like just people in my life in general, like people who I thought were my friends, who turned out not to be my friends, you know, just things like that. And I was like, you know what, I don't need that energy. I have enough going on. So I basically said, you know, like, I don't need this. So I stopped dealing with the negative aspects in my life, which leads me to, I actually, in that video also addressed, I rewatched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I was like, oh God, this is a mess. But I mentioned that I got a job, my first job, in April of last year as well. And I actually left that job. I have another job now, but I left that job, and I left that job for multiple reasons. One of them, I had, you know, some issues with the way that they were running the company and what they would allow, treatment to their employees wise. But I also left because I was not really respected, if that makes any sense. Like, I tried to address it a couple different times, and it just didn't work, which was really upsetting because I loved that job. And I cried when I turned in my key. Like, it was a whole thing, but I just wasn't respected as an individual. I wasn't respected as an employee. It came down to the fact, like, what is good for me at this moment. I'm actually gonna contour my nose for the first time in probably a millennia. I don't really like to contour my nose, but that's what I'm going to do today. I just want to test this out. My foundation's looking really bad from that powder, which is very upsetting. My concealer looks like crap from that powder as well. So, yay. I'm very happy about that. But anyway, it came down to it. I just was not feeling like I mattered at all. And the things that I was doing for that company, like, I would cancel plans to go into shifts that weren't even mine. And I'm not gonna contour my nose. Hell no. I just think that it wasn't really worth my time, so I got a different job. And I actually make more at the job I have now, but it was still a really big thing for me. Oh, that was the e.l.f. Contouring palette in white. I just used that to contour. It was still a really big moment in my life for me to be like, you know what? I don't need this. So I left, and that was a really big thing for me because I really liked that job. And I realized something, you know, like, the people who were my coworkers, who I thought were my friends, are not my friends. You know, like, people, and it's upsetting, and it really upset me. So for a while, I just didn't really feel like filming, but there comes a point where, like, I see all these really big influencers who, you know, just don't want to share part of the story, not just on YouTube, I'm talking about, like, on any social media platform. And I feel like there are some things that your audience needs to know in order to understand you. And I feel like this is something that you guys needed to know. Most of you have actually met me and, you know, understand. But there are some of you who I've never actually met, and we just DM each other on Instagram or stuff. And, you know, I wanted everybody to know that if you have things, or if you're depressed, or if you're anxious, or if you're struggling with anything, you're not by yourself. Like, you're not alone at all. And my DMs on every single platform are open if you ever need somebody to talk to, especially from an outside perspective. I think that is something that has really helped me. Somebody who doesn't necessarily know every single person in your life, somebody who, you know, just wants to listen. I think that's really, really helped me kind of gain a new perspective, and not necessarily figure out what I should do, but figure out what they think might be best for me, because I'll be going back and forth between two different options. And, you know, that's actually how I came to the conclusion to quit my job, because I was on the fence about it for a really long time, and I was like, I'm just so unhappy, and nothing I was doing was making me happy. Like, it was a whole thing. And I talked to somebody, and they were like, you know what, it just seems like you need a workspace that is going to value you and who's going to respect you as a person. And that's kind of where I came to that from. But my DMs are always open. I don't take things like emotions lightly, especially towards myself. I have a lot of time where I'm like, I don't know why I feel this way. I don't think I have a reason to feel this way. Like, it's something that I've really struggled with. That was the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100, by the way. I've really struggled with having, you know, something to say to myself. And I always try to push off my emotions, especially like my own. I don't really respond well to them. To be honest, just a couple years ago, I never ever would have made this video. But I think it's important. It's important to me, and I know it's important to so many other people out there. And you know, not everybody has the same things. And I don't want you guys to take away from this video that like I'm complaining about everything in my life, because honestly, nobody sees a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, not everybody. And there were some amazing things that I did in 2019. Like, I went to Scotland and I did not want to come home. That was the best thing I ever did for myself. I kind of did it on a whim. I was like, it was Caitlin's idea, and it was like an idea, and then we just kind of did it, and it was honestly the best experience of my life. Like, it was the best thing I ever did for myself, and I'm so happy that I did it. And I would not change that experience for anything. I'm very heavily blushed. Like, I would not change that at all, because that was the best thing I've ever done for myself. I think that it was the perfect timing. Like, it was the absolute perfect timing. I could not have, you know, asked for that, because I feel like I didn't know that I needed that, but I needed that. Like, it was such a huge thing for me. And I'm so happy and so thankful that I was able to experience that with some of the best people I think I've ever met. Like, it was the best 5 weeks of my life, and I didn't want to come home. I cried. I did not want to come back. And there were a couple reasons I didn't want to come back, which brings me back to what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was coming home to, if that makes sense, because the whole time I was gone, I think, like, you know, I talked to my sister Megan every single day. Like, every single day we were messaging each other, we were FaceTiming, we were talking on the phone. Like, it was an every single day conversation. And that's when basically our reconnection really started. It was when I left. It was actually the day before I left, and we went out to dinner. And it was like a huge thing for me. And she picked me up from the airport and like things like that. But I didn't really talk to really anybody else from my family. I talked to, you know, a couple people like once, but other than that, no. I primarily spoke to Megan. And I said in that video, my dad bought a house and was getting rid of like everything, which he did. When I left for Scotland, there were like counters in the house, there was furniture, like there was carpet, there was things like that. When I came back, there was none of that. The counters had been ripped out, the floor had been ripped out, the furniture was all gone, everything except for what was in my room, because I had redid my room the previous summer, which I did post on Instagram about as well. So when I came home, I literally came home to an empty house. And Bella was living with me before I left. Again, this was addressed in the video. She went to my sister Sarah, which you guys have met her as well. She's been in a couple of my older videos. When I was gone, my dad actually rehomed Bella while I was gone. So I literally was alone in that house, and it was just not a good thing for me. Like, I literally came home to a completely empty house. Like, I had been gone for 5 weeks, and Megan picked me up from the airport, and it was, you know, awesome. And then I just had this basically like dooming thing looming over my head, like, you have no idea where you're going home to. And I actually didn't know that the furniture had been removed. I didn't know that the house was basically empty. Like, I had no idea that any of this had happened. I literally just came home and it was like that. Like, that was such a, like, it was a really scary experience, to be honest, because I didn't know what to expect when I was coming home. I knew what to expect when I was in Scotland, and like, the people I was with were, for the most part, great. I didn't get along with everybody, but you can't get along with everybody all the time. I had the best time, which I think is part of the reason, to be honest, why I just don't really, especially at the end of 2019 when I got back from Scotland, that's really when my videos started to like, because I had pre-filmed for 5 weeks and then they all just stopped because I didn't have any more pre-filmed, and I didn't feel like filming. I was so depressed, and it was definitely something that I think came across in videos when I did force myself to film, because I noticed it, and that makes me think that you guys could notice it as well. Oh, the blush and the highlighter came from the Pure Celebrate Your Selfie. I used the Flirty blush, which is this one, and this highlighter is called Lit. This is also the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use. But I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I feel like you guys could definitely notice, because I could tell in my videos when I just didn't feel like filming. I was, you know, too upset. I didn't really want to do it. Like, it was very apparent to me, and that's why I decided, you know what, I just won't film. You know, like, I came to that conclusion because I came home, and like basically 3 weeks later I was moving to my apartment, and I was like, you know what, I filmed a couple videos in that time, but I didn't film very many, and I missed a lot of uploads because I was like, I'm not gonna force myself to do this, because it's obvious that I don't really feel like doing it. The video just didn't look very good, and there are a couple of videos on my channel that I've posted recently. I mean, I will not go back and rewatch a lot of my older videos because they're just so cringy, but there's a lot that I've uploaded more recently within, I would say, the past year that I won't even watch, because I'm just like, girl, that's so fake. You're not into it. Like, there's no point. Like, I could tell, and I know that some of you guys could tell. So I was like, you know what, there's no point in forcing myself to do this. So I stopped filming basically entirely. I just dropped all my brushes. I'll pick them up and I'll talk to you. That way I can actually kind of have a thought process. But I stopped filming for a long time, and there were weeks, literal weeks, where I wouldn't wear makeup, which was so weird because I was wearing makeup like every single day for years. A lot of my brushes are on the floor. I'll get them later. For like, I was wearing makeup every single day basically for like years. Like, it was a huge thing for me. I would wear mascara every single day. I would wear eyeshadow every single day. And then right before I left for Scotland, I was pre-filming, so I was wearing makeup every single day. Like, it was just something that I did. And let's take this color. And I just like stopped. While I was in Scotland, I didn't wear makeup that much just because I didn't really feel like putting it on, to be honest. Because we were, you know, hiking, it was humid, and I was like, there's no point, like, why am I gonna do that? But I did bring makeup, and you know, I did wear it, just not as often. But when I came home, before I left was like, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna rest for a couple days, and then I'm gonna get right back into filming. Like, that was my thought process. Like, I'm gonna do that because I love to film. Like, that's what I'm going to do. That is not what happened. I came home to an empty house. I did not feel like filming. Like, it was just, I was such in a negative space. And you know, I have to give props to Caitlin, because she has been so incredibly patient with me, especially with like my mental health, and me having several different medications. I've tried several different medications over the course of a year, which we were talking about today. And she's been so incredibly patient with me, and you know, my life, and trying to figure things out, and not knowing different things. And it's been, you know, one thing after another. And I also have to give props to her family, because they literally just opened their arms and took me in, which they did not have to do at all. And I am so thankful for them, because like, there were times where I couldn't afford to eat. They would feed me, they would give me gas for my car, they would give me toilet paper, like things like that people don't necessarily think about. But they would do it, and they would do it without, you know, thinking twice about it. And I think that really just shows about who they are as people. And those are things that I think people don't know. Like, people don't know that that was actually what was going on in my life. And that was not only when I came back from Scotland, it was in Scotland, it was, you know, before Scotland, it was like the whole time. And people had no idea. And I think people still have no idea. These people have helped me tremendously over the course of 2 years. And I just want to give props to them in this video as well, because they definitely didn't have to do that. Like, they literally could have been like, well, that sucks. Because people who are related to me, I'm not going to say names or like who, because I don't want to call people out, especially people who don't watch my videos. People who are related to me were like, man, that sucks, and didn't bother to help. Because there were times, like before I had my job, where I couldn't afford to eat, and Caitlin and her mom or her brother would drive an hour to bring me food. Like, it was just like a whole thing that people just don't know about. And you know, people don't see that side of the story. And I don't know if she's gonna be mad at me for putting that out on the internet. I hope not, because you know, like, these aren't bad things. These people helped me. And I think without them, actually I know without them, I don't know where what I would have done, or where I would be without them, because they are the best people, like literally the best people. And I could not have asked for a better group of people to basically take me in as family. Like, literally, I could not have asked for a better group of people. And I'm so thankful for them, because I literally have no idea where I would be without them. And they have all supported me from day one. My channel, they watch my videos, like literally from day one. They have been like, you know what, do it. And people in my family aren't even like that. Like, it's just like, they're some of the best people ever. And I just really wanted to give them like their own little moment, because not everything in my life has been bad for the past 2 years. I know, like, a lot of people think that, you know, like, oh, everything must be perfect. You have a YouTube channel because everything on your channel looks perfect. Because these are actual things that people who I know have told me, like, you're fine. Like, you're posting videos, you're posting on Instagram, which, you know, yeah, I'm posting. I like to, but there are some things that, you know, not everybody knows. And I just want to give like a life update because I never updated you guys to my video. So I think that's everything that needed to be said. If I think of anything else, I'll probably just type it in the description box, because honestly, like, I don't have a thought process at all. I'm going to be editing this video and be like, girl, you're not making any sense. So I hope I'm making sense. But that brings me to where I'm at today. The past couple days have not been great. I've been really anxious. And I don't know why. I think, in all honesty, it's just, you know, like, I'm really stressed, and I think that I'm just overthinking things, but I feel myself beginning to crawl out of this hole, basically, that I've been in for 2 years. By no means does that mean like, oh my god, like, you're not, like, am I 100%, because I'm not by any means close to that, like, at all. But I feel myself beginning to have a little bit more of a positive outlook, and I want to keep that going. I feel like I'm in a place where I want to film again. I want to create again. I want to do all of these amazing things that I like. I'm reading again. I love to read. So I feel myself, you know, beginning to have a positive outlook, which makes me so excited, because I have felt like crap for so long. And, you know, I've cut out a lot of the negative influences in my life, which have been great, because I don't have outside sources now bringing me down. So it's been really good. I've done really well. Past couple weeks, I think the last time I went to counseling, I told her things weren't going well, but a couple times before that, I was like perfect. Like, I was literally like, I'm great, you know. It's been awesome. So back to the makeup. I used the eyeshadows up top. I used Fulfilled, which is this one, Loved, Hyped, and Glamorous. This is my first time using the eyeshadows in this palette. I really liked them. Yeah, they're really pretty. I don't think like they're the best thing ever. I really like this highlighter though. I'm just gonna pop on some mascara. This is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Yeah, today I am beginning to have things, and I'm really excited. In May, I'm going to Italy and Norway and some other countries, but I want to keep you guys in for a surprise. I'm not going to ruin all of it. I am planning on vlogging. I learned a lot from vlogging last summer about vlogging, so there's that. I'm really excited about the trips, you know, so I think that has part of the positivity I'm feeling, is because I'm like, you know what, it's gonna be awesome, and I'm really happy about that. Like, literally, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I'm so happy I was able to go and things worked out for me. All right, so my camera died, so I have no idea where I left off. We're just gonna start talking about a new topic, because I genuinely have no idea. I'm looking for a very specific eyeliner. There it is. I think I might film a declutter. I'm not going to declutter a lot though, so I may not. This is the Smashbox Always On Gel Liner in the shade Fishnet. This came with the LA Color Shop palette, and I really, really like this eyeliner. That brings me back to my channel. This year I have a lot planned. Like, literally, I have almost every single upload from now until the end of December planned. Now, with that being said, my upload schedule does change. Like, I upload every single Tuesday and Thursday. That schedule stays. But like, what I have planned on that schedule changes quite frequently with what I'm feeling, new makeup launches, requests to me always take a priority. I know not every single person who does videos feels that way, but to me, requests take a priority. Whenever I get a request, I want to film that, edit that, and upload that as quickly as possible, because I know that somebody is waiting on it. With that being said, it depends on the request, obviously, but those take priority. And this year, I want to be more straightforward with my channel. When I first started it, I was really awkward about it, and I think that's really apparent in my videos, and I think that's why I don't like watching them, because it's weird. It really is weird. Sitting down in front of a camera and talking as if there's somebody else there it's a weird feeling, and unless you do it, you don't actually know how it feels, because I mean, it's really weird, especially when you have people who are like, that's so awkward, people who don't support you necessarily. So I felt really uncomfortable about it, and I didn't tell anybody for a really long time outside of my immediate friends and my family that I had a YouTube channel, because I was so scared to be made fun of, which is absolutely ridiculous, because even the people in my family don't support it. I mean, that's just what it is. But that was how I was, and you know what, I don't want to be like that anymore. So I've decided that this year I'm going to be way more open about my channel, be more way outgoing, you know, like, hey, I'm here, I'm very excited to share my videos, I work really hard on them, and I hope people can take that away, because I'm constantly watching videos. I'm constantly doing my research about how I can make my channel better, and I nitpick my videos. Like, that is one thing I definitely do. I nitpick so hard. I'm gonna take the Urban Decay Brow Blade in the shade Brown Sugar. I have been loving this, but I nitpick my videos. For sure, 150%. I do. I know I do. It's such a bad habit of mine. But I've come to the realization not everything has to be perfect. And I'm okay with that, you know? But actually filming this video, I feel a lot better. Like, I feel really good right now. And I'm not saying that I'm not gonna miss any more uploads, because in all honesty, I might. Like, I might have a really bad couple weeks where I just don't film. And if that's the case, like, so be it. I'm not gonna force myself to do it anymore. But if it's like, if I miss uploads that are super, super important, like say like a music and makeup series, if I miss a song, like I will do that song. So I'll just push back the uploads, if that makes sense. Or if it's a request, I will still do it. It'll just be later, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to force myself to do it anymore. I'm going to listen to what my body is telling me. I mean, not about everything, because sometimes I can't just lay in bed for 8 weeks straight, no matter how bad I want to, because that's just not realistic. But I will definitely, you know, take a step back and be like, you know what? If this video doesn't go up today, it's fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Am I happy about it? No, but I'm not gonna force myself to do it anymore because I don't see the value in that. I don't know what I was doing for so long, like being like, oh my God, you are a freaking failure because you can't get a video up on time. Like, that is so not true. Believe me, I've had those thoughts. I've had those things occur to me, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. You know why? Because it makes me feel 10 times worse, and you guys don't really seem to mind, like, at all. I tell you guys when I upload, and I think that is good enough for you. I can't really talk and line my lips. But you know, today, especially like right now, today, this morning, I was not in like the best space. But today, right now, this evening, I am so happy. I'm really excited about my trip to Italy that comes first in May. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about getting back into, this is the Pure Always Sharp or lip liner, On Point lip liner in the shade Loki. That's what it is. But I'm really excited about getting editing done and figuring out my new editing software. At this moment, I still haven't figured out everything. So it's a work in progress. I really like this color. It is gorgeous. The lip gloss I'm using is the Pure DIY. It came with the Celebrate Your Selfie. I haven't used this yet, but it's a really pretty color. That's really pretty. It smells really good too. Alright everyone, I think that's it for today's video. I'm sorry if like it didn't make any sense. I have to check, make sure I don't have whisk on my teeth, because I feel like every single video I do. But I'm sorry if the video didn't make any sense, because it really was just something that I literally came up with when I saw my analytics this morning, and I didn't really put any thought into it at all. So I really hope it was okay. If you guys have any questions, or if you want me to do another one of these like later on, like life update video, just let me know. I love getting requests, and yeah, I think that's it. I don't really think I have anything else to say because I didn't really plan this out. So make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave. Hit my notification bell so you know when I upload every single Tuesday and Thursday. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.